तो कोई आया नहीं क्या?
Yeah, maybe I'll give a quick intro about myself, right? My name
अच्छा
is, sorry.
सही सही। अरे नहीं नहीं, मैं वो देखने ही आया था कि कोई आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा।
Harsh, I think your
चलो, मेरे तो कॉल चल रही है एकदम।
Who's speaking?
I think it was from Harsh's side, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so my name is Sai Prakash. So I was currently working as a senior SDR in a company called Sluri, right? It's been almost 2 years of the company has started, and I was part of this company for almost 1.5 year. So it's like pretty much part of building team, right? And I think that's something I have to say. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'll go next. So hi Prateek, hi Harsh, and hi Sai Prakash and everyone else. So it's great to be in the session. So to be very brief about me, I passed out in BCom as a BCom graduate in 2021, and I started working with IBM, and then realized that I'm not like a IT person. So didn't like the monotonous work. So I thought that sales would be very dynamic and very challenging. So I thought of switching into it, and I worked with Lead Square for a few months and for a sales internship. And then right now I'm working with Prateek, and very glad that I reached out to him through a cold call. So that was how I got connected with Prateek, and that's very interesting. So that's about it, me guys. Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah.
Hello, so I am Swapnil. I am currently pursuing also my electrical degree. I am in the last semester, and I am doing my internship at Bangalore SASP, which is a startup. So I am getting to learn more about it.
Yeah. So Apnil, my prayers to you while you're doing electrical, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go next. Probably Prateek and Swapnil. I am also electrical background, so I feel you, bro. So mine was similar. I think I graduated in 2020 COVID wala period, like September, October, and I knew that I didn't want to go into software. I knew that I didn't want to like get a job, electrical job, core sort of job, and the only other viable option that I saw back then was sales, and I was like, all right, why not get into it? And okay, so cringy part is I think I started with Byju's, worked there for I had no clue like B2C kya hota hai, B2B kya hota hai, and anything of that sort. Got into Byju's, worked there for a while, and then figured out ki okay, there's something known as SaaS or B2B. And I sort of like did a cold outbound to a founder, um, and he sort of like liked um, my approach, and he gave me a job. And the part reason I wanted to learn all of this, get into a SaaS job or become an SDR, was I wanted to learn prospecting, so that if I end up having a company, or if I work for my cousin who had built a really good software. So I figured ki in India there are a lot of good um, tech talent, but sales and marketing wise there was a gap, and sort of like that was what spearheaded or nudged me to get into sales. And after working for a service based like B2B company for around 6 months, I got into Nectar. I'm not sure like how many people have heard about Nectar, but we are an early stage startup, and I was the first SDR here. We are in that 0 to 1 journey, and I'm not sure. Like I think Prateek and Harsh have done this. Even I think Sai Prakash had done this journey 0 to 1 wala. So yeah, just experimenting with um, all there is on the outbound front, and yep, that's it. Like doing
Yeah.
my bit in for the community.
I think I've heard about Nectar a lot when it comes to culture, man. I think Rahul Rajwanshi was also in a part of Nectar.
Oh yeah.
So he used to tell me a lot. Even your finance person in Nectar used to talk a lot about, the culture, the
Oh
great
yeah,
culture
Shweta,
in
yeah.
Nectar. Yeah, Shweta.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's all cool, bro. I mean, it's a cool company actually to work. Even the product and the space. So yeah.
Yeah.
And here I'm getting more interested in ops and revenue operations and all of that. And probably I see myself there in the longer run. offsite, sort of like how Vamsi switched.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, over to, I don't know, I think Bharadwaj, over to you, man.
Hi all. So I started my journey as a developer and I was working with a startup in the B2C space. And that's when I realized I am not meant for B2C. I need to see money to keep myself going. I was not interested in burning VC cash for anything. So I quit my job. I worked with a bunch of B2B SaaS companies and I realized, okay, there's a lot of money in B2B. This is where I should be. After working as a good developer, I realized that that was not enough to sell a product. So I switched into email marketing because the reason I got the job was because of a cold email. And I had always been interested in cold emailing. After that, we did a successful product launch of a sub product that was supposed to act as a funnel to the main product, which is TrueCharge, which is an alternative to customer.io, which is customer lifecycle marketing. But what ended up happening was inbox pirates got a lot of traction more than I expected. So I started focusing on that full time. And eventually what happened was we couldn't sell to individual SDRs. So we started white labeling our services to other email outreach tools like Outplay or Apollo, and we integrate with them in a Chrome extension. So switched to 3 months back, like what happened was some of the founders who come through our product started asking, hey, we like the premise of like getting more email opens, but I'm not doing any outreach whatsoever. Do you have a bunch of people you can connect me with? So I was initially just like out sending them over to a couple of friends of mine. And I then thought I must be doing this myself. So that's when I started to do an agency plus product model. So the way that it works is we do LinkedIn outreach, we do LinkedIn content on behalf of certain founders. So we engage with their feed. This is for busy SaaS founders in the B2B space. And then we also do email outreach using a bunch of tools that we like to recommend. So that's my journey into sales and marketing in the SaaS space. Yep, over to Shubham.
Hi everyone. I'm Somraj. I'm in my final semester of engineering. So soon I realized after joining engineering that this is not for me, and I started working with the startups for very first month of my college in GTM roles. In second year, I started my own startup in EdTech. Did it for a year. We got incubation from Atal Incubation Center. In third year, I joined Outplay because I was I wanted to explore some other sector and I wanted to work with a SaaS company. And that's when I joined Outplay. And that's when I met Prateek Bhaiya. Right now, I'm building Sethi. We are solving for networking and community management using AI chatbots and mobile first SaaS. And we are backed by Google. Yeah, great to be here. Great to interact with all of you and looking forward to the session.
Awesome. I think
Okay, I'll go next.
Yeah.
So I don't have any interesting story as all of you. So I completed my engineering in 2019, mechanical engineering, and I knew that I didn't want to work on a machine floor, surrounded a machine, and didn't want to work with iron. So I wanted to do something else other than engineering, other than mechanical engineering. So sales kind of fell into my lap. One of my friends suggested that this company is hiring for sales and marketing intern. And then I took up the opportunity. I gave the interview and they onboarded me. Since then, I was working with them as lead gen associate, and then I was promoted 2 times. And until I left the company, I was mentoring a team of juniors. So basically lead generation, qualifying the leads, etc. And I left the company around in December last year. And now I'm working with Drona HQ. So it's just my second day at Drona HQ.
Basically, this is his first official announcement about joining Drona HQ.
Drona HQ, yes. Yeah, I had not updated LinkedIn yet. Yeah. So iske pehle bhi maine ek offer accept kari thi, and it was a funny story. The manager told me that on the day I joined, he sent me 2 demo videos. He asked me to watch them, and around 8 p.m. in the evening, he gave me a list and said that start calling. I need 2 demos booked today.
Damn.
तो फिर मैंने बोला भाई, मतलब मैंने तो उसका रिप्लाई नहीं किया. तो अगले दिन जिसने मुझे हायर किया था, मेरे मैनेजर का मैनेजर, वो बोलता है कि दिस इज नॉट वर्किंग. मैंने बोला तो दिस इज नॉट वर्किंग फॉर मी टू. So yeah, here.
इतना जल्दी ब्रेकअप हो गया यार, ये तो मतलब एक दिन के अंदर ही
तो
नॉट वर्किंग.
बाबरा से जल्दी हो गया मेरा, वो दोपहर तक गया था, मैं शाम तक गया.
Nice, nice.
Has Akshay spoken?
Yeah,
sorry.
she has spoken. Amrita is left.
Yeah, hi guys. So my name is Amrita Vyas and I'm native to Jodhpur, Rajasthan. And currently I'm in Bangalore. So I have just switched my profile to sales from HR. And it's really keeping me on toes. So just got a link through my husband. I think Harsh is my husband's friend. So I got this link and I was eager to learn more about prospecting and all. So yeah.
Sure. I mean, really diverse group. Today we have like a lot of people, in college, somebody switched from HR to sales, somebody is in founder's office, somebody is opening a venture studio. Nice.
Yeah. Cool. I think let's get started, Harsh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. So basically, I'll start with the PPT kind of a version. Just setting up the ground rules. It's supposed to be a very interactive session. I mean, some of you have attended, my first session where we talked about Sales 101, and we kept it, going, asking questions and understanding more things. We'll keep it like this, for this time as well. And I'm going to speed up a little bit because I always take too much of time. I will, make sure I, only take, a small portion of time today and quickly, take you guys at the pace. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
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 Okay. So why, why do you need to optimize your LinkedIn? Because again, if you can see the little cartoon over here, we as humans are very, how do I say it? We look towards very materialistic appearances rather than, dil mein kya hai, like whatever is in the heart. So if we look good, if we present ourselves good, we'll, definitely be able to be more friendly, be more approachable, be more authentic and genuine. And I think that's why, we should optimize our LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn today, I mean, it's no secret, it's like your personal website. It's your personal landing page, how, you want to communicate your offerings, your values, your skills to the people out there. You look more approachable. I'll tell you why, I say this, why you look more approachable. You not look like a spam account or a bot account. Also, you clearly can communicate who you are, what do you do. And again, that builds up a social value amongst your network. And that has any CTA that you attach to it, a better conversion, whether it's to book a meeting, whether it's to sell a course, whether it's to get a job. Why optimize? One more reason is because people are coming to your profile. Might not be, this number might be even higher, might be lower, but some amount of people definitely are, visiting your profile. And I mean, we should give them something good to see, right? And now, you might ask, if we are going to understand what's good profile, what does good profile look like? We should also understand what do bad profiles look like. I have some examples. Please don't tell these people I use them as examples. Let's go over quickly. Right. So if you look at this profile, for example, if you look at the display picture, it's again, little Instagrammy, little, very, I would say, zoomed out, where you don't really, see the face of the person and, kind of build that human visit, human connection to it. About is, literally one-liner. There is no experience, no attached link. It just doesn't look very authentic, right? I'll come to the second profile, right? In the second profile, I'm sure everybody has a WhatsApp DP and Instagram DP. This person does not have a LinkedIn DP. And that's not, that's something which kind of infuriates me, because if you can maintain all other profiles, please, put on a DP here. The about section is also pretty standard. I'll tell you how to work on the about section as well. And rest of the things are again just very basic. This is an example where the person is missing a DP. Let's see the third one. This is one of my junior from college. Okay, he studies in a tier 1 college. He's my junior. I am teaching LinkedIn optimization, and he doesn't have a LinkedIn DP. The about section, if you can see, C, C++, Python. He's the math expert of competitive exams. He's not done any activity in the last 90 days. He's done BTech twice. So all of these things, I mean, in his skill, he's just mentioned his branch. So these are the bad ones. Okay, so then you might ask, what are the key components to create a good LinkedIn profile? I'll break it down part by part, right, starting right from the top of your profile to the end of your profile. What do we see in the top of the profile? We see DP and cover, right? In the DP, we can be, we can have a close-up, front-facing, smiling, well-lit, photo without too much distraction in the background. I have a little distraction. I know I have a cat over there. In the cover, you can be, funny, you can be quirky. I mean, again, Nand Kishore designed a really great cover. I love it. If you need an STR, better call Nand, right? So that's a great reference. You can grab people's attention because literally this much of view space is to be, it just comes front. Like whenever people click on your profile, it opens up and you can talk to them without talking to them through this, right? I mean, whatever you will write, they will read here. So it better be good, right? Okay, I'll show you some bad ones, some bad DPs. Again, please don't tell them. Someone you might recognize some people from here. So this person, he is beautiful, but he is hiding his face. Okay. This person, nice talk, but who is he? I mean, I can't really see. This person is lost in the crowd. This person, I've specifically told him in personal message that, bro, you need to put a picture which is not blurred, because again, it looks like a spam account. Okay, we have one more photo. This photo is front facing. This photo is smiling, person is smiling. This photo is well lit. What's wrong?
Anybody?
So, I mean, this looks like, no, I mean, a 35, 40-year-old person, right?
Right.
Samanyu Babu.
10 साल बड़ा है तूने मेरी age.
I think he is 30.
I'm not, bro. I'm 24.
24.
Technically, background थोड़ा plain होता तो अच्छा लगता.
Look at the real person and look at the deep. Cool. I'll fast forward. So what do good ones look like? Okay. And again, these are my friends, colleagues, and mentors. So these are some examples of, good profile pictures which look, presentable, which give a sense of, there's a real human behind this profile. What if you don't have a good photo? What do you do then? You try this. This is an amazing hack. I use it for almost all my display pictures. I'll put up the link in the chat box after this. So you just take any photo, you put it there. It will remove the background. It will, give you custom backgrounds, colorful backgrounds to be put in your photo. You can even customize, change colors and everything. So please do yourself a favor, go and create a photo from here. Now coming to the cover part of it. Covers could be, covers could be, as I said, could be of grabbing attention, where you're trying to be funny, you're trying to be quirky, or you're adding a CTA. Like for example, this one was Astha. She made it for when she was looking out. So she put up this cover, where she's kind of cracking a joke, where which kind of leads to a CTA to hire her. This one is, I created it for one of my friend studying in microbiology. So I'm the one who knocks those viruses down, a reference to Breaking Bad, right? I create my own covers. It doesn't need to be your personal brand or your, something humor, something quirky as well, you can create it on your brand reputation as well. So these are, few of my covers which I keep switching between. But if you don't have, the time, or you don't want to, or you can't even create customized cover, please don't worry about that. Go ask marketing folks from your company, or your organization, wherever you are associated with. They will provide you with a standard cover that they put mostly on their founders banner, or on the LinkedIn pages and everything. And if you are a student, you're not with any organization or something like that, try to put down the cover, or a photo or whatever that resembles to the most who you are, or what do you do. Like, for example, somebody um, working in design might put up a nice little photo of a workspace where they're designing something, or some quote, anything like that might work. Just don't leave it blank. Tagline. Let's talk about tagline. I'm so fucking happy, right? So these are few examples of taglines that I wanted to showcase. This is one of mine. I mean, this is my current tagline. You can mix your achievements on the tagline. You can tell what do you do. You can also talk about the causes that you support. You can be quirky and funny in the tagline as well. Let's uncover the dark funnel. Writer of words, thinker of thoughts, guardian of brand at Humantic AI, rare breed of marketer, unthreatened by ChatGPT, right? Again, add some humor. People are scrolling, people are coming to your profile, they like you instantaneously. The likability factor increases, and they kind of maybe send you a request. If you have sent them a request, they will check your profile out, and they might, accept. They might be eager to talk to you. For example, this person who currently we are talking about, I sent out a request to him because I liked his tagline. And then you can be, again, there is a concept like KISS, keep it simple, stupid. If you can't be creative, always be direct. So, you directly talk about what you do, what you love about, doing things, and all of these things. So a mix of these things could be kept in tagline. One more thing which I have heard, and it might be true as well, you guys can experiment along with it. LinkedIn algorithm promotes longer taglines. So if you have a longer tagline, your profile pops up more times, than other people's in search or anything. And this might be true because LinkedIn searches based on keyword. So I think, on tagline, the keyword score might be higher, a little higher. Like if in my tagline, I have founder as because a lot of people reach out to me misinterpreting that I am the founder of Storylane because I have founder's office in the tagline. So whenever they search for founder Storylane, I come up, right, along with the founders. So, that is one hack to kind of make yourself more visible, play with the tagline. Every other keyword that you
Harsh,
Yeah.
just adding one quick thing. So in
Sure.
your previous example, the LinkedIn actually cuts off the tagline at 77 characters on PC and 57 characters on mobile. So, so like whenever you're making a post, which is how probably they're going to discover your profile if you're not using search, you might be aware of that, because if you're putting what you actually do in the end of it and stuffing keywords in the beginning, they'll not be able to see.
No, good point. Good point. See, again, he does this for a living. Inbox previews. His startup is in that. Yeah, thanks for adding that. So coming to the second part of it, which is summary. Summary, a good summary. This is again someone new summary, which I really liked, where he's being, a little chill, where he's talking about more on a human front. That on weekends he wants to do camping, trails and cycling, but he is not. And that might, it initiated a question in me that, bro, why can't you, do camping and explore local, trails and cycling? What is stopping you? And that might be a conversation starter, right? So in your summary, you can tell what do you do, what motivates you, what keeps you growing, what keeps you engaged with the community. You come across as, again, more authentic profile, right? And in the end of it, he has given a way to connect with him, right? There's a Calendly. Anybody, if I was looking forward to connect with someone new and someone is not accepting my connection request, I would look out for this link. link. I'll copy it, paste it, book a call, go ahead, right? So a lot of sales leaders also leave these kind of little clues. No, I mean, not only sales leaders, other leaders as well, decision makers leave these kind of small cues for you to understand and target them. And they would be really happy about it, because they would be they would be thinking that you took those efforts to make that possible, and you value their time, you value them. That's why they will be also willing to give their time to you. One more summary we will see. So this is another summary where he's started with what he does, how much months of experience he has. He's an introverted salesman, he tells, and he's listed down his specialties, whatever he does. And then he gives out a fun fact that he survived 2001 Gujarat earthquake. And then he links it to that, now I survive sales quotas. Again, makes you laugh, makes you like the person, right? So again, never ever think no, people are not reading it. If somebody is curious enough to come onto your profile, if they are deciding in their head, they're on a ledge, that whether to give you time, whether to give you their money, whether to give you any bit of attention, they would find out reasons to like you. And these are few hooks which kind of help them like you. I'll take a pause if anybody has any questions till now.
Yeah, I have a question. Like, so I was like, there was this guy, a cousin of mine. He was asking me, like, how should a profile look? I mean, see, everybody has a. For example, if I look at Harsh's profile, it speaks in a different manner. Versus if I have to, let's say, so basically his question was, is it supposed to be serious? Like, for example, if you had to apply for a job at McKinsey or let's say corporate America or any like fancy organization or a big MNC, do the HRs or do they look for a serious profile? Matlab, how do I put it in a better way?
I think I understand. Let me paraphrase that. So let's say I try to be quirky, let's say in my cover designs and everything. So would that matter to a, let's say, recruiter from Google or a recruiter from Cognizant or even more traditional companies like HCL or Pfizer or something like that? I would say, again, there are two sides of it. One is, that person is also a person. They also like jokes. They also like, that little bit of humor if you can communicate. But since they are coming, they're conditioned in a different environment. They're conditioned to look at profiles and, just look at the experiences and everything. I mean, startup culture is cool. That's what is perceived, right? Startup culture is cool. MNCs are serious. But nowadays, again, things are changing. MNCs are trying to be cool. They're trying to be funny. They're trying to engage in social campaigns, hackathons, and everything. But if we had to put a word to it, I would say, if you are looking, let's say, for example, to apply to a Big Four and, these, MNCs as you talk about, I think having a professional standard profile helps rather than being funny or quirky, because that might be taken as somebody who's insincere or careless or doesn't, understand the ways of work. So it's again about the perception. Anything anybody else wants to add to it?
At least in my experience.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was just talking about this because when we were sitting in our placements and, when a lot of people were talking about how do I apply in Deloitte or, PwC and all of that, I came to know that there are a lot of ATS systems, that's like application tracking systems, where automatically when you send your resume, they have this thing of they'll, read everything and then the AI will suggest the recruiter, that, hey, this person is the right person to fit, right? So for that, the resume or the LinkedIn profile has to be completely different than, a resume of a startup organization. So yeah, but a lot of people suggest that it's better to have like pointers very specific about what you have done rather than being quirky or something of that sort. But yeah, that's completely subjective. But yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, Bhadwaj, you were saying something?
Hello. Yeah, no, I just wanted to add, it also depends on the job role that you're trying to go after. Like if you're in sales and marketing, it's kind of cool to look at that. But if you're applying for McKinsey, for example, you are applying to be a consultant, you don't need other people to reach out to you, or you are not going to reach out to other people as well. So you don't have to be interesting in the first place for one of those jobs. So I think that matters too. Like, are you on the sales field? Are you in marketing, or are you in development consultants?
Yeah.
I think again, it's on us to
Very
identify.
subjective.
Yeah, whether the path that we are taking requires more creative portion or more cognitive portion that people look for. Like, let's say if I'm again a consultant at Bain, I would want to show off my cognitive, part of it. Like, these are the research papers that I've worked on, these are the projects that I've done, these are the impact metrics that I've created. And if, let's say, I'm working in founder's office, sales, or any creative role like that, I would want to be on the other side of it, right? I will again fast track. This is a featured section. People are not using it, properly. I would say, I would suggest, please do use it properly, because again, these 3 posts, and again, if you'll scroll on the right, 3, 4, 5 more posts, those are the posts that you can manifest people into, understanding, creating a persona of you. Like, for example, if you want them to see, for example, this guy as a public speaker, put that post up right here, because nobody is going to go dive deep into a profile and go scroll 3 months, 6 months before and understand, oh, okay, you can speak in public events as well. For example, if somebody had to invite him to public speaking sessions, he has put down public speaking and time management, another session, there. He's put down his most viral posts over there. So he's trying to create a persona that, he's famous, he's likable, he speaks on public management, public speaking and, time management and everything. He's the go-to guy for these kind of things. And as salespeople, we can also do this, and we can mix and match of, our personal achievements as well as our brand's achievement. Let's say, for example, Nectar, does a partnership which is very exclusive with Salesforce, right? That's a big news. We want to, kind of put it out there so that we look like the big guys, right? So you should put that here, something like that. I'm just giving example. And if you had one of your prospect, in an email kind of replying to you and appreciating your outreach, take that screenshot, make that post, and then put it down there, like make it featured. I mean, as sad as it is to say, but in today's world, if you don't have the ability to showcase whatever you are doing, it normally doesn't, give you a fast track growth path. It's very sad, but again, that's the world we live in. I mean, it doesn't matter if you do a lot of, great work, the opportunities will not come up to you until and unless you are able to showcase that this is the kind of work that you've been doing, this is the kind of work you can do. I had to search for a video editor, right, last week, and I went ahead, I searched for video editor on LinkedIn, reached out to 4 or 5 people again who I looked, were decent enough, were taking their craft seriously, had put down efforts to put those keywords and profile. I mean, in their featured links, there were videos that I can look at, video samples and everything. So I instantly created a social value for them that, these are the people who can get my job done. I reached out to them, and that's how we started talking to a few of them as well. So that's where we also have to think. It doesn't take, like too much time, or you don't have to do it on one day, slowly every day, right? Coming to work experiences, this is one of the example, which is, cracks me up always. I wish, we could write an experience like this, but we'll come on to, how we kind of naturally write those work experiences. So this is again one of my friends. So what you can do is you can mix your achievements, like quota achievements, any award that you got in, let's say if you have been employee of the month, and you can also mix and match with your company media, the product, link to product, let's say book a demo or something like that, because people do reach out. I mean, again, it looks beautiful. Like if a profile, it just said business development manager skit, nothing else was there, plus business development manager skit, and then he's telling about skit, the the investors who have invested in them. He's an early hire of the sales team. Again, my reputation, in my mind, his reputation is increasing, right? As I'm reading, he works in a great company which is backed by good investors. He is the early hire. He has working along these industries. He's been an employee of the month. Then he goes to Slack. Then he's writing about how he's been top performers consecutively. Not everybody will have the same metrics to put out. Not everybody will have the same content to put out, but you have to find what you're good at and what you can present to people, which kind of creates an image of yourself in their mind that looks approachable. We humans are, again, we are very, like, we are animals only, right? We are just sophisticated animals. We think, I mean, again, there's a whole theory. I don't want to go into that, Simon Sinek one. But yeah, that's how you can showcase and you can create interest about yourself, make yourself sound interesting, right? Coming to the next part, which is education, right? Everybody studied from somewhere. Somebody's a dropout, to mention that as well. That gets taken like a cake, right? And I mean, again, I never found use cases about my college certificates and whatever extra things I did, which I'm not, doing, let's say, in the longer run in my jobs or anything. But I have a place to showcase for that, right? So do that, again, tells the people that you are let's say, for example, taking purely my example, that he's been associated with placements and all, he's been doing, something, he's been athletic as well. So he does seem like a good guy. Again, just looks like a humble brag, right? Yeah. Coming to skills, again, we are trying to put keywords as much as many as relevant keywords in our profile that we could be coming up in the search result. If, let's say, I'm searching for an STR and some other keywords, how you could be on the first or second page of my search, right? Again, Google SEO is something which everybody understands and everybody works really hard for it. There are companies, products, and everything. LinkedIn SEO is nobody. I mean, LinkedIn's internal SEO is nobody, talking about it. How do you make yourself pull up on those search pages? One of the thing that you can do is, again, put down your skills. I've, as you can see, I have 33 odd skills, put there, which all relate to, mix and match of what do I do, business strategy and lead generation, get endorsements and everything. Because again, people come up to my profile, people say, oh, okay, 26 endorsements. This guy must be really great at this, right? This guy must be really great at this is such a cool hack, I'll tell you, because I was looking, I mean, for the first time, I was hiring somebody. I was hiring somebody for the social media, role for our company. And I came across one of the job posts, and in that job post in comments, the person had great recommendations. The founders, colleagues, people who have worked with her, and all of that. Great set of recommendation. All comments, said something good about her. Next step, I jumped to reach out to her. I jumped, and I now, I'm like half sold that she must be great at what she does. That's why, these many people are kind of adding that social proof to it. So I think I've experimented with this in my own sense as well, where I have created that social proof. I mean, I've been talking to someone new as well about this, how to manifest that social proof. Because again, let's take it, directly, creating that, or, it happens naturally. It's very rare. Like, how do you, like, let's say, for example, if I wanted to make a post and I met Bill Gates, for example, I would have to manifest that, right? I'd have to, get somewhere, go in a conference, get a picture with him, and then, kind of make a post. And that will create a ripple effect. So again, coming back to the topic, another things which you can add is license and certifications. These are not necessary, but good to have. Again, shows that whatever you're doing, you are learning in that. You have a way to prove it. Can't stress enough on this. Please do, get recommendations from your colleagues, from your friends, from, people who you have worked for, any other project that you have done, or anybody you have helped. Any recommendation helps, because again, as I was telling you about, if I can get motivated seeing those recommendations in comments, imagine if I had like 30 of them in my profile. I would look like a great person, right? I'm manifesting myself to look like a great guy in everybody's mind, in recruiter's mind, in founder's mind, the prospect that I reach out to. The prospect is also, understanding, like, for example, if he comes to this line, Harsh is a person who acts beyond his age. And let's say if he or she had a barrier that this guy looks very young, will he be able to solve this problem or something like that? He comes to this, he understands, no, he can. People are talking about that, something like that. So you can manifest that. I'm just opening up all, what I have learned, right? There are other things which, again, are not mandatory, but good to have. You can put down your courses that you've done, any projects that you've done, volunteering experiences that you might have, donated blood, right there, right? Again, looks like you're contributing to the society. Volunteering experiences help in that. Publications, any awards or test scores, or any languages known, you can put there. Languages known feels like a very silly addition, but I discovered a use case for that. Let's say, for example, somebody is looking for an STR to shift to France. There's a great opportunity. They want somebody from India to shift to France, and the person should know French. How will the recruiters figure it out? They will try putting a filter, right? Your keyword should come up there. Cool. I think this was it. This was my short bit, kind of long bit on optimizing LinkedIn. I can, answer any questions, and then we'll jump on to the really, really great session that we have planned with Prateek on LinkedIn outreach. I've seen the PPT. I'm amazed. Yeah. Any questions?
Firstly, thanks, Harsh, for giving a lot of insight into we can do so much to our LinkedIn profile. I think I have placed almost everything, but I need a couple of corrections and add-ins. I'll do that.
Yeah, just a couple of pointers on the recommendations as well as endorsements. So the first thing is the rest of the sections you can actually control. So it takes 1 or 2 days for you to create all of that into your profile, right? But when it comes to endorsements and recommendations, what we tend to do is that we don't have a personal CRM. Like the people we interact with, for example, the 9 of us that we're interacting today, we forget that who we've spoken to, who we've added value to. So it's always a good idea to have some sort of an internal system that whenever you reach out with them and like you have three or more value sessions with them. One such example for me was I reached out to a prospect and my email outreach software fucked up. So instead of saying first name, it actually put first name in it. And he just replied in a very sarcastic tone saying that first name is not interested. So then I apologized and he didn't reply. But I kept that in my mind. I was very guilty of making that mistake. So when I knew his company actually needed something, I went out of my way to recommend him and then send it over to his email again as a reply to that thread. And he came ahead, like said thanks and endorsed me to a bunch of skills that I had. I say the story because sometimes when you give without expecting something in return, you must also have a system where they can upvote you or endorse you or do something in public. So unless you ask, it's never going to be automatically done. So I know Harsh for a long time, but he wouldn't go on LinkedIn to endorse me. It's not something that is in our social system, right? So a lot of times what works for me is that you write out the recommendation yourself based on what obligations you think other people might have on you. So for example, Harsh quoted an age barrier that other people think he might have. So then you write it out and then you send it to them. So essentially you're making it easier for other people to help you out. How can I help you out? So I could do free stuff. Either you can pay me, which is the best thing ever, but not everybody is going to have the capacity to pay you or the need to pay you. So the second best thing is, okay, you can bring in a bunch of other people for me. The third thing is, okay, you can make my public profile stand out with some vanity metrics so that when other people come and discover me, there is a value loop going on. So you should have this in your head because it's like extremely like the number of people you meet in your career will just ramp up over time and you will never have something public in terms of like interacting with them because time is money.
So just to add on to that, I mean, really great points, Girta. So actually, I found this extension, which is called People to Notion, and you can use this to, whenever, it comes up to every LinkedIn profile and you can just by one click, you can add people. And that's how I've been building my personal CRM, adding notes and everything. And for profile picture, I put down that link. Yeah, Nandkishore.
Yeah. So there is a creator mode as well on LinkedIn. So what is your opinion on that? Should we enable it? Should we not enable it?
Okay, that question was for me. Sorry. So creator mode, I would say I mean, I enabled it very recently when I crossed 10,000 followers. I I would say I created, I mean, I switched to creator mode because I was going to become a creator. I mean, I finally thought I'll become a kind of an influencer. I'll put down content, I'll do sessions. I want my follower count to increase, not connections, So when that priority kind of overtakes, you can move on to a creator profile. Other than that, I would say be on, again, that normal by default profile where you are valuing connections and you're building those relationships, because I sincerely cannot build those relationships with 10,000 plus people, right? So I'm kind of opening it up in a generic way that I think, in LinkedIn algorithm gives a boost, because every day, every other day, 7 or 10 people are following up, following on with me, and they're not connecting with me. So I think it's a good way to have your content reach increased. But if you're not doing something on that sorts, like putting out content or becoming an influencer kind of people, I think you should be on default.
Got it.
Also, one more thing, just it lets you add a link below your tagline. So that was also one of the key factor for me. I added my link tree kind of link over there, because I was conducting workshops, I was giving assignments on Gumroad and everything. So I wanted to bring everything in one place and put it on a center link, which shows up in my bio. So again, that also helps.
I use it for prospecting as well. The link that you're talking about, Harsh. If you go to my profile, it says Meet Nectar, and it redirects to a short video clip on Nectar. So, for example, if I'm prospecting and if I've sent a connection request, so the first thing that they would probably look is, what does this guy do? And I've had a lot of conversations that way recently, wherein I had inbound requests from SVP operations saying ki interesting platform you've got. So I've booked a couple of meetings that way also. So not related, but yeah, related.
No, on second thought, I think we all should switch to create a profile, if we can do that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Prateek, over to you. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for the, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have already pumped up the presentation wala thing, but it's not that. Cool. So I'll get started. And yeah, guys, I think as I mentioned, right, I would want this to be more of a brainstorming session, because I think everybody is currently working to get replies on LinkedIn, on like basically multi-outreach, jo bhi hum log kar rahe hain. So yeah, and just know that this experience of me coming up with this PPT is for all the ICPs that currently people are maybe in college, right? So when I was in college, I used LinkedIn as a tool to get my internships, right from reaching to 500 founders to, when I was working in Stone Santa, to getting investors on board, right? And then to getting in Alma based, and then Outplay, to reaching out to SDRs for 30 under 30, and now building a venture studio and again reaching out to investors or customers or, all of them. And one of the things that I'll be covering is to being more creative with the outreach, because I think all of us are kind of doing outreach on LinkedIn, right? And when I joined Alma Base as an SDR, initially, a lot of founders back then in 2019 and 20 used to tell me that, hey, dude, you're being so creative. Don't you think it's too informal? Right. But I still figured out a way to be still being creative. And then, this is my learning from all the things, right? And yeah, while I'll be talking about like booking more meetings on LinkedIn, I think the whole agenda of this catch up and the session will be to book more and build more relationships on LinkedIn, rather than talking about the CTA of booking more meetings. And I'll keep on saying that LinkedIn is maybe a long-term game that we are serving, and emails are maybe like short-term transactional thing that we are doing with prospects, right? And before I just talk about this session, I just wanted to get a overview of, where we are with respect to, reaching out to prospects. So guys, if you can just put like 1 or 2 on which stage you are in, like if you're using LinkedIn for outreach actively, like you're not using LinkedIn for outreach and then you're using LinkedIn for outreach, just put it 1 or 2, and then at least I'll, start. Okay, Nankishore is at 1. 2, Sonia and Bhartaj. Okay, I think I'll learn a lot from you guys also. Cool. I think we have a mix of both 1 and 2s. So yeah, just feel free to bump in whatever learnings you have and just let me know if the learnings make sense. So yeah, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, that if you think that this session will help you, you can go on LinkedIn and start booking meetings on the first day, you're damn wrong on that part, right? If you're thinking कि यार मैं अभी जाके लिखता है book a meeting with me with the right message and all, it won't happen. And I won't even make false promises, right? And I just want to get started ekdam grassroots level pe, when you reach out to people, right? I think the first thing that a lot of people don't do is not add a note, right? And ye simple funda hai yaar. Whenever you are meeting people, I think that's what a lot of people say. If you're not spending 5 minutes on the person that you're reaching out to, you can't expect, spending their 20 minutes to you, right? That's the simple agenda and the funda that you need to have while reaching out to people. And I think one of the things that you also need to take care is how do you structure the note, right? A lot of people, and as SDRs, as people, and as founders, you might have gotten, right? Hey, we breathe oxygen. That's a similarity. Let's connect. I mean, that's the lamest thing I've seen, heard, right? But still, people are, keeping on doing that. So how do we differentiate ourselves from so many people who are reaching out to? By so many people you are reaching out to, because some of your ICPs might be founders, sales folks, or any other things. So yeah, one of the things that I did in Outplay was an exercise, man. How do generally people write the notes when they're reaching out to? So hey Ayush, I was following up on the email I sent you a few days back. Would love to connect to you and talk about how Outplay can help your SDRs overachieve their quotas, right? I think this is one of the emails that a lot of SDRs send, right? While they are sending emails, and then the next thing they do is maybe follow up on LinkedIn or Twitter, right? And when you see this message, the first thing that the ICPs feel कि boss ये तो बेचने आया है यार, right? They already get into that defensive mode कि this is another SDR who wants to sell their product, and a lot of these notes, even if on the second, even if they accept your connect request, uske baad they don't even reply to you. I'm sure like a lot of people might have experienced that in this session, right? Just wanted to get a quick understanding, guys, before even jumping to the next slides. Do you guys also use notes? How do you go about it? Just wanted to keep the floor open. Yeah.
Yeah, Prateek, I have a very interesting point to note down here. So I think around 2 weeks ago, I read a post about how this founder is blocking, he's ignoring all the connection requests that have a personalized note in it. Now keep in mind that there is a founder who is very active on LinkedIn, but he's also top 1% of the 1%. So he's getting like 1,000 requests every day. So in his head, he is arguing that anyone who has time to actually create a personalized note has the idea to sell to him rather than actually trying to getting connected with him. So then, because I'm managing outreach for like 3, 4, 5 founders, I realized I can play with this idea. So what I did was I'm also training an AI model so that I can write these personalized notes using AI. So I was basically having a spreadsheet. I still do it today. Every time I create a note is that I just like note it down in an Excel sheet. So based on the findings, I do 10 LinkedIn requests per day in my base plan for all of these founders. So that is like 5 into 10, 50 every week, right? So I do it from the network tab. I also do it using search. So I search for a specific job title or a keyword. So what I figured out was if you have more than 20 mutuals, any effort you do into a personalized connection request is a waste of time. Because what ends up happening is when the mutual is over 20, they're definitely going to accept, irrespective of like what is in the message. but they don't feel obligated to reply to the connection request message because they think you've put it only to connect with them rather than actually starting a conversation, even if you have question in the personalized note. But if you are connecting to someone with less than 10 mutual requests, it's best to actually add a personalized note based on something they have mentioned in the profile. So in the brief that Harsh gave, he, like the funny one about like, I survived 2001 earthquake. There's also a funny example that I wanted to show today. So I was prospecting on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I found someone who's CTO. So the company's CTO had a tagline saying that I will shave my head if you don't like our product. And then the SDR of that company has a tagline saying that I will shave my CTO's head if you don't like the product. It was very funny. And I could essentially leverage that in the personalized note. So I actually made a sale with that for another founder. But it also depends on the industry. So I was talking to someone who had recently shifted from this B2B kind of space to B2E. So the company he works for does KYC automation. So Aadhaar card and like the face thing that you do on Tinder and stuff. He's selling that software. So he needs to connect to other banks and other enterprises like HDFC. But for them, if you include a connection request, it's not working at all, irrespective of how personalized it is, irrespective of the number of mutuals, because it is 100% clear that you are there just to sell. So in conclusion, I would like to say, if it is more than 20 mutuals, don't bother writing a request because it's a waste of your time. It's less than 20, less than 10. Think about whether you have something really quirky to say, and make sure you're not coming off as extremely salesy. The reason people are rejecting your connection request based on the personalized note is dependent on like how salesy that message is. That's what I could understand from like managing these profiles.
Yes. I think that's a very interesting take on it, man. Like I never thought in that way where, if you have so many mutual requests, I think it's easier for us to connect, right? On the other hand, if you don't have mutual, I think that's a learning that I'm also taking in this session. Yeah. Anybody else wants to talk about it? Like how you are, currently sending LinkedIn requests or something of that sort?
Actually, blank request also works for me sometimes.
Yeah, it's a very personalized opinion. For example, I was talking to my director of GTM sales strategy and ops, Jordan. So he's like, I don't accept requests without note. I just keep them waiting, and then probably if I feel like, I do it because I know they're about to pitch. So I got this advice, like if you don't have anything personalized to say, just send them a very generic request, because if it's salespeople, like salespeople know, like, dude, I know, like, we don't have much time, so even if you send me a generic this thing, it's okay. But yeah, it's very subjective, like, but I make it a habit to send them a note with a very general note. Hey, it's always a win connecting with fellow blah blah blah. But I also did what you just did, like sort of like give them an overview. Like if I'm prospecting Prateek, let's say, so if I had like sent a follow-up email or an email, so I would reference that. Anthony Natoli talks a lot about it, like just sent you a couple of emails and wanted to add a face to the name. So from a prospecting perspective, it's just to get his attention back to the email that I sent. There was this CRO that he was opening up a couple of my emails but was not responding. So I knew that he was a football fan. So while the game was going on, I sort of like texted him like, hey dude, did you see Broody? He's killing it out there. PS, I sent you a couple of emails. So he went back and checked those emails. Even though he did not accept the request, but I got that touch point, right? I got him to see the email. A lot of experiments that I'm doing, but
I think as you mentioned, right, it's very, very subjective, man, because I've been in three different, at least the experience that I have had. One was Alma-based alumni professionals, right? So they were not even active on LinkedIn, right? Even if you send a personalized message or not, they won't accept it, right? To the phase when I was in Outplay, where you were sending it to sales and marketing VP sales, where they actually acknowledged everything that you're doing, right? With all the personalized messages. And now I'm working with a couple of portfolio companies of ours who are into finance, right? And now for them, it's really hard. If we are not personalizing it, they don't even accept the request because they're like, "Acha yaar, ye sales का बंदा है, ये बेचने ही आएगा, right? So I'll just talk about this. But yeah, I was just showing that this is one of the notes that, the folks at Outplay used to send, and how we changed the whole process to a place where, now we were sharing, hey, Ayush, just saw on your profile that you were selected SDR of the month at Outplay. It's great to see how you've settled in the role and started over hitting your quotas in the first 3 months. Kudos to you. Looking forward to learning how you have been hitting quotas at Outplay. Keep killing it, right? Something of that sort. Right. So that when you kind of read this message, Ayush is also like, hey man, thank you so much, because you have already told them, hey, that you're doing great. And then maybe they are open to sharing their experiences and all of that, rather than a completely non-salesy, like a complete salesy thing. Right. So again, I would say it's completely subjective, and it depends upon the ICPs that you're working at. But this is a good practice to add a note while you're sharing while you're connecting on LinkedIn. Right. So yeah, this is one of the generic messages that I used to that I am currently sending. Hey, love how you are killing it as a finance rockstar at Hippo Video. As someone who is building something in finance, I'm sure there's so much to learning from you. Keep killing it. Right. So this is one of the things, and because I was also heading ABM in Almabase, I got a lot of overview about how to get those top of the funnel meetings and then convert it into SQLs later. Right. And once you get somebody on the call, you gauge their interest and all that, and then push it to the SQL phase. These kind of messages where, you are just telling them that, hey, I'm just here to learn more about your experiences. Even though it's not a sales call, it gives you like a lot, it gives you an MQL, which you can push into an SQL maybe a month down the line, even if they don't have interest maybe in the first month, right? Similarly, this one, she's the head of finance at Rippling. So yeah, would love to connect with you as someone who is understanding more about finance than us. I'm sure there must be so much to learn from you. Again, a very generic message. I've not even personalized it, to a point where I am also reaching out to investors. Hi, Stuart. Loved your Medium article on Venture Studios. As someone who's building a venture studio, I'd love to connect with you. Right. And then we booked a meeting, and this is one of the potential investors for our venture studio. Right. So I'm telling, like, whatever you see, like, go on the, if that prospect is a really high value prospect for you, go on Medium, go on YouTube, see if you have heard a podcast, just mention some of it, so that it's higher chance that they reply back to you rather than just accepting the connection invite, I would say. Right. Because a lot of people accept the connection invites and then they don't reply to you, and then you have to nudge back. Right. So send a note in that way that it's already conversational. Right. So yeah, that is something that I wanted to add, and I wanted to share a framework that I used to follow. I think it's not. Is it visible to you guys, or do I zoom it?
It is
Thoda
visible, but can
Can
you
you
Acha.
zoom a little?
Yeah,
If
I'll
you
just
just zoom a little on the third.
Yeah. Now you on the
yeah. So, I mean, I'll just share this with you. I think this is a framework that I have used, which has helped me book a lot of meetings. But yeah, once you send the connection request with the note, and if the person doesn't reply to you, right, he accepts or she accepts the invite request. So you just mention, hey, Ayush, thank you for accepting the connection. Once again, congratulations for killing it at Outplay. Would love to keep learning more, right? Just a very generic message, and not nudging them that, hey, I want to book a meeting, blah, 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 right? And if they reply, you can just mention, hey, thanks for replying. Also keep killing it. Hey, we recently came up with a resource called Call of Fame. Top cold calls for top sales influencers. Just floating this. Let me know if you find this useful. Again, this might not be a lot salesy. This might not help you book a lot of meetings on the go. But in my experience, I've booked a lot of meetings, maybe engaging with them maybe a month or 1.5 months with them. Right. And then, yeah, I think all of us might be doing this, but we also keep on engaging with their posts, right, for a week or two. Don't pull the trigger. Keep commenting on it. I see Harsh, at least Harsh, because he's in my connection. He does a lot of commenting on each other, founders' profiles and all of that, right? I think that is very, very necessary, so that, people know who you are, right? Yeah, I think Bhadwaj, you want to say something? Yes. Yeah.
No, just noticing how everybody is a huge fan of Harsh here.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that we do is go for the ask once you've already engaged with them, and if they are not replying, I'll also talk about how to use shifts and all of that. But yeah, if they if they are like, hey, I don't want to book a meeting, just take something from that. Like just ask for a reference that, hey, can you, can you refer me to some other person in your network or something of that sort. It has kind of worked for me a lot while I'm booking these meetings from people. And I'll be happy to maybe jump on another session where I can just show my LinkedIn on how I've done this with different ICPs. Yeah, and this is one of the things that I was talking about. मतलब एक normal playbook बन चुका है मेरा कि when I think you might know a lot of people here, Eric, Ding, these are all sales leaders. I just send this awkward wala GIF whenever they are not replying, right? And then they, I don't know why this GIF has worked a lot for me, right? And then maybe you can also try using GIFs, being very creative and all of that. So yeah. And also just talking about how GIFs, I've used GIFs in different emails. This is the highest email reply rate as of now for me. Just bumping this up, what I imagine is a very busy inbox. I'm going to give you some space, but I'll be back when you least expect it, right? And this is kind of a third or a fourth email. And this is an awkward email. And I can't overemphasize on this email template because this is one of the email templates that has worked a lot for me. And then this one, I think I've used it for 30 under 30 campaign as well. I had built like a 5 email sequence reaching out to all of you, a lot of SDRs. But this is a email I sent to Mrinal. I hope you're having a 2 coffee versus a 4 coffee day. We have already onboarded 28 sales leaders for an ebook, blah, blah, blah. I'm excited, very, very excited to take things forward, right? Again, a GIF to make things, yeah. And then again, using, different kind of creative things. So this is one of the things that I'm using currently in my venture studio as well for investors, that you will get back to me with a rose petal. You won't, you will get back to me, right? So all of these kind of make sense. And then I hope you appreciate from my professional persistence. This was an email template I used in 2020. And this was a tortoise which used to go up and down and up and down, right? So that's how people used to resonate with this. And yeah, I used to have the CEO's account as well, where people used to reply, "Lol, hey Lakshman, sorry, I'm in a release. Can we speak in the next 2 weeks?" So yeah, just emphasizing on the fact that this has worked a lot. Yeah, again, I think
Prateek, just one point to add. So what happens is if your prospect is using Google Workspace, images are enabled by default. But if you are reaching out to someone in the Saudi market, which is something I recently worked with, a lot of people are using Zoho Mail or Outlook. So in those things, you don't get images turned on by default. So for example, if it lands in your prospect's inbox and they have to manually click, I trust this sender on Outlook, or they have to say display images on Zoho. This is on the mobile app as well as the web app, right? So this is for blocking all those pixel tracking as well as these images. So one thing you can do is, like, if you have, you can put all your prospects leads into a Google Smart Sheet, a spreadsheet, and then turn it into a people chip. Now, if you hover over them one by one, you will see the organizations that are using Google Workspace. In Google Workspace, images are turned on by default. Any of those other providers like Outlook, which is like majority apart from Google Workspace, or Zoho, you probably can use another follow-up that doesn't rely heavily only on images. So you can add an image as well as some text, so that even if they're not able to see the image, they're getting some value out of that follow-up email. What worked extremely well in my circumstance was just using their first name. So I would send you 2 emails. The third email would be Prateek ? And that is also something I stole from LinkedIn. It has worked extraordinarily well.
Yes. I think, I mean, that's one great learning for me, man. I think since my ICPs have always been limited to, US and India, I think I've never faced an issue. But yeah, I think with the Saudi market, as you said, I think all of us need to take care of that as well. And you also mentioned, right, Prateek ? The email template. I think in Almabase, when I was in Almabase, we used to have this template, is anything wrong, Prateek ? And that was, I think, the highest email open rate and reply rate for that. But I never came to understand the dynamics behind it. Ki bas ye 3 letters se itna sara email reply rate aa raha hai. But yeah, that makes sense, man. Cool. I'll just keep on with this. And I think this is what I wanted to show you, that using the same GIF, same playbook, you get so many replies, right, from people. And again, these are all the templates that my team was working on at Almabase. So this is something that we did. A coffee leke, we used to put it personalized Canva pe dal ke, and we also used to use a Adobe ka script, right? We just had different names, first names, and then we used to have all of them like coffee names pe dal ke, and then the virtual assistant would used to send these emails to these prospects, right? Similarly, this is something that I'm still using with our investors. Hey, Samantha, this looks super duper cool. Hi there, thank you. How do you pull it off? I know one speech bubble is not enough. So how about a quick convo instead, right? So this is again one of the highest reply rate for us right now, where you are building different comics. So what I am kind of suggesting you guys is go all in to create like comics like these, or so that you can experiment with a lot of things in creativity, right? Similarly, in this one, these are all nurture emails. Like, it's me from the future. I've got some out of the box ideas for you. Yes, it's literally out of the box, right? And then share the nurture material, right? It's like a no CTA thing. And then people used to reply to us, say, you're making so amazing comics and all of that, right? So the overall gist is just be very, very creative with your outreach on emails, on LinkedIn as well. Yeah, and I think people are already doing it, man. I think everybody knows, or not everybody, but yeah, Mattia Shaper, I think she keeps on talking about GIFs, and how GIFs have really worked well for her. I think she's from Salesforce or something. I don't remember. Yeah, she's from Salesloft. Yeah, Salesloft. So she keeps on talking about these GIFs and how she closed so many sales from Salesloft. So yeah. And yeah, I mean, does it make sense for us to be super active on LinkedIn? I think the SDRs, the sales folks need to be, man. And I think we have a very, very good example of Landon Mayer. I think during COVID, I saw his brand going from 0 to 100, man. Not even from 0 to 1, right? He's closed so many deals with, talking about how he's, being an SDR, SDR lead. He got so many jobs. So I think all of us need to be very, very active on LinkedIn, so that our prospects also know that, hey, there's a opinionated person behind, somebody who is just reaching out to me on LinkedIn or on emails, right? And yeah, this is the overall gist, man. Like, there is when we are talking about LinkedIn, there is 90% dead audience, man, who is just scrolling through LinkedIn, where only 6 to 8% engage with them on comments, on likes, and 1-2% are the people who are creating content. So yeah, I think we should be the people who are creating content, engaging people, engaging with people, and booking more meetings. So yeah, I think that is the overall thing that I had, a short PPT about how I scaled my LinkedIn, from 0 to 1 in the last 6 years. But yeah, I think on a different session, maybe we can talk more about some specific examples if you want.
So, I mean, I was blown away by obviously both your PPTs and by your Canva, that thing, the project board. I think the LinkedIn sort of like, I have a similar drip campaign drip campaign created, wherein I send them a connection request and then follow up in a certain way, send them a link to a blog post, a neutral article or something, and ask their feedback. And then, I don't know, like, sort of like collaborate with them on something. Is like Harsh and I, actually, he gave me this amazing idea wherein he asked me to collaborate with the personas that I was selling to, and sort of like put myself out there as a go-to RevOps guy. So I started it. I'm crowdsourcing a blog article. So that kind of like, as an SDR from 0 to 1, it's my job to get Nectar's name visible out there, right? So it's sort of like dual purpose. Once they know about Nectar, and if they actually have a problem, they'll hop on a meeting. So yeah, but having a drip campaign like that is surely helpful. I'm hoping you would be sharing that Canva wala thingy with us as well.
Yeah. And while you guys are talking about this, I don't, maybe this might be a segue, but I'm just talking about one campaign that I'm currently doing, using Outplay for a company that is currently our portfolio company in finance, right? So this is one of the emails that and just to let you know, what we are currently doing is we are reaching out to finance folks to sell our service or our product, right? But the way that we are doing it is we are setting up these meetings and knowing more about their journey so that we can get the top of the funnel. And then we are kind of converting them into SQLs, right? So, hey, this is not one of those sales emails, just wanted to know, take time out, blah, blah, blah. And this is, hi, I love your journey of being a kick-ass finance rock stars. So yeah, these are all the things that I'm like sending. I can share this campaign, but the overall gist is how yeah. So how we are doing this is once we are having the conversations with these finance rock stars, we are documenting this here on this landing page, right? And then this is the hook that we use to book more meetings with finance folks, man. Right. And that's when we say, okay, Shriyanka from Outplay, Kanishka from CoreStack, Shweta from Nectar. And we also, that's how we approach Shweta, dude, from Nectar, right? That, hey, we have already spoken with so many SaaS folks. I want you to get on a call. And that's how we are building the MQL phase. And then after we get on a call, we are just like, hey, boss, do you want to know more about Zuna while we are talking about it? I know this is not a sales call, but if you would be interested, just let me know. We are still getting a 33% MQL to SQL conversion, which is kind of a standard industry standard, right? With this campaign, and just so you guys know, this is the Notion document, the landing page.
Wow.
This is built on Notion. Yeah. So this is we have
Feather CRM, right? Yeah.
Yes. So we have nothing to do. We have to just upload it on Notion, and it automatically books into this. And people are thinking, oh my God, they're putting so much effort in documenting all the meetings and all of that. Right?
Man, this is amazing. So this is like, I think this is what I had in mind, but I couldn't sort of like make it into a process. But so how do you, so have you had any conversions from this? Like,
I think we just closed a $6,000 deal just yesterday from this campaign.
Okay. So, I mean, it makes sense. Also, like, have you had, so I've also like started doing this, like going about it this way. I connect, I nurture them for a while, and then I sort of like ask them for a product feedback or sort of like that. They come like, so it either goes two ways. Like that guy comes, we show them like after a generic conversation, show them the product, he gives his input and leaves. Typically we ask for a referral, or the second way is it goes like it becomes a full-blown discovery, and then guy is like, oh, we have this legit problem, I think we should talk in Q1 or Q2 or something like that. But I just started this campaign in December, like 27, 28 ka phase, but this gives me more clarity on like how to go about it. But definitely.
And I would say I would say at least the consultations that I've done in the past few years, the easiest way to land somebody or some ICP on the call is just to highlight them on something, right? And dude, if you drill down on 30 under 30, right? If you talk about the strategy, that was just it, man. This is just to highlight the SDRs of India. And that's how we got a full-blown, marketing campaign out of it. And even that was my strategy in Outplay. Now it comes to the venture studio. And even when I'm having conversations with investors and all that, I'm just like, hey, I want to document your journey. I want to talk about this. And that's how they think, okay, man, they are kind of investing more time into it. Right. And that's how they think, okay, boss, he spent 30 minutes on me. It makes sense for me to spend 45 minutes on you. Right. So I think it's more of a give and take relationship in life and in meetings. So I think you guys should try that. Yeah. Cool, guys. I think I have to drop off. And if you guys want to connect offline, just let me know on a separate campaigns or anything that you would want to ask me. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Oh yeah, expect a DM or something from me. I'm gonna bug you for a while. I
Yeah,
wanted
hope
to see like how you
it's
document and all. Yeah.
Yeah, hope it's personalized, man.
I'm already connected with you, bro. So
then it's okay.
yeah. No, networking, internal networking हो गई है. मैंने अंदर ही अंदर भरद्वाज भाई को भी बोल दिया है. We took shared WhatsApp number also. अंदर ही अंदर we are building a sub community. But thanks, Prateek. Like
we take a screenshot Can we take a screenshot before you guys go off?
Yeah. Cool.
मेरे को 20 साल का लगाना भाई, 30 साल का मत लगाना इस बार.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool, guys. Thank you. And yeah, as I said, just let
Bye.
me know if you want to speak
Yeah.
offline. Yeah. Chalo. Yeah. Bye. I'll see you guys.
Alrighty, bye bye.
Bye.